Welcome back to the channel Liberty Coin Value. Today, prepare yourselves for a journey through time, a journey that takes us deep into the heart of American history, craftsmanship, and unimaginable wealth. Today, we are talking about a single coin, small yet mighty, the legendary 1962 United States Liberty 1-cent coin. A coin whose story, rarity, and current valuation of an astonishing $554 million make it a true crown jewel in the world of numismatics. So sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and get ready to dive deep into the fascinating legacy of a coin that has become the stuff of legends. Let's begin where every great story begins, with history. In the year 1962, America was in the throes of monumental change. John F. Kennedy was the vibrant young president leading a hopeful nation. The civil rights movement was gathering unstoppable momentum. The space race was heating up, with dreams of reaching the moon fueling the American imagination. Amidst all this social and technological revolution, the humble penny continued its silent but vital service to the American economy. The Denver Mint, symbolized by the proud D mint mark stamped on coins, millions of 1-cent pieces were struck that year. Crafted from a solid copper and tin and zinc composition, these pennies were more than just pocket change. They were a symbol of American durability, tradition, and economic vitality. The 1962 Liberty 1-cent coin features the iconic bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that first appeared in 1962 and became a beloved fixture of American currency. On the reverse side, the simple yet powerful wheat ears design, a tribute to the American farmer and the nation's agricultural heritage, offers a visual story of perseverance and bounty. But what makes the 1962 truly special is not just its design. It's the story of scarcity, condition, and breathtaking current value that elevates this coin into the stratosphere. Though over a billion pennies were minted in 1962 from the Denver Mint, time has proven that only a tiny fraction survived in pristine, untouched condition. Most pennies of that era were used daily for purchases: gum, newspapers, candies, and experienced heavy circulation wear. Coins were scratched, dented, rubbed down until their details blurred into oblivion. A handful were saved by collectors who recognized the beauty of a mint-fresh penny, but even fewer remained in true gem condition, flawless, untarnished, and sharp. It is precisely this survival in mint state, specifically MS red and above grades, that catapults the 1962 Liberty 1-cent coin into numismatic superstardom. Today, only a very select number of these coins exist in such high, jaw-dropping quality. And that is why their value is astronomical. Now, let's get to the part that will make your jaw drop. As of the latest market analysis, the finest known examples of the 1962 Liberty 1-cent coin have reached a mind-blowing valuation of $554 million. Yes, you heard that right, over $500 million for a single penny. Why such a colossal valuation, you ask? It is a perfect storm of factors: extreme rarity and pristine condition, the historical significance of the early 1962's era, the irresistible charm of Lincoln's portrait, the classic wheat reverse, and above all, the insatiable demand from elite collectors. Owning a coin like this is like holding American history, artistry, and wealth in the palm of your hand. Auction houses around the globe have seen bidding wars that start at hundreds of thousands of dollars, escalating rapidly into the millions. Billionaires, museums, and elite private collectors are the typical buyers, each desperate to secure one of the rarest and most storied coins in American history. Imagine, a coin once worth 1 cent, now commanding a value that could purchase luxury yachts, private islands, or even famous masterpieces of art. Let's talk about circulation. Back in 1962, these pennies flowed like rivers through the American economy. From coast to coast, they were handed over counters, dropped into vending machines, stuffed into piggy banks, and lost between couch cushions. Today, the overwhelming majority of 1962 pennies you might find in circulation are well-worn, tarnished, and valued only slightly above face value. However, if by some miracle you discover a shimmering red, mint-state specimen, especially one graded MS red, you could be looking at a fortune of hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. Finding such a coin is like finding buried treasure in your own pocket change. It is a dream that fuels the passion of coin hunters and metal detectorists across the country every single day. And if you happen to find the ultimate specimen, the perfect 1962 D penny, congratulations, you might just be holding a slice of $554 million in your hand. In an age of digital transactions, crypto coins, and electronic wallets, the story of the 1962 D Liberty 1-cent coin reminds us of the lasting power of physical money. It's a piece of copper that has outlived trends, recessions, wars, and technological revolutions. It is proof that even the most humble object can carry within it the soul of a nation, the artistry of an era, and the dreams of countless generations. Today, collectors cherish these coins not just for their financial value, but for their emotional and historical significance. Owning a 1962 D Liberty 1-cent is like owning a time machine, a tangible connection to the hopes, struggles, and triumphs of a bygone America. Chapter final words. The hunt continues. So there you have it, the breathtaking saga of the 1962 D Liberty 1-cent coin. A coin that proves that treasure does not always gleam with gold or sparkle with diamonds. Sometimes, it is small, coppery, unassuming, but it holds a universe of history and value within its simple form. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist, a passionate treasure hunter, or someone just beginning your journey into the fascinating world of coins, remember, greatness can lie in the smallest places. The 1962 D Liberty 1-cent is out there, waiting for its next chapter to be written. Maybe it will be you who finds it. Maybe it will be you who holds a $554 million miracle between your fingertips. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey today. If you love diving into the mesmerizing world of rare coins, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss another adventure with us. Until next time, keep searching, keep dreaming, and never underestimate the magic of a single pen. We take a deep dive into one of the most fascinating and unbelievable coins in American numismatic history. Get ready, because we are about to unlock the secrets behind the legendary 1967 United States Liberty 1-cent coin, a coin whose remarkable journey from humble beginnings to a staggering modern-day valuation of a jaw-dropping $443 million will absolutely blow your mind. So buckle up, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters, because this is a story you do not want to miss. First, let us travel back to the year 1967, a year filled with pivotal moments in American history. The Vietnam War was at its height, civil rights movements roared across the nation, and cultural revolutions were changing the very fabric of American society. Amidst all this turbulence and change, the United States Mint was quietly producing billions of coins for everyday commerce, including the iconic Lincoln cent. But the 1967 Liberty 1-cent is no ordinary penny. Oh no, my friends, this particular coin carries with it an extraordinary story of rarity, mystery, and monumental value. In 1967, the Mint faced incredible challenges. Due to a nationwide coin shortage that had been plaguing the country since the early 1960s, the United States Treasury made a bold move. They suspended the production of mint marks on coins in an effort to discourage hoarding. This meant that whether a coin was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, it bore no identifying mark. Every cent looked almost identical to the untrained eye. But somewhere during this chaotic period, a batch of Liberty 1-cent coins, specifically dated 1967, were struck with exceptional qualities. These coins, believed to have been made under special circumstances or due to an experimental striking process, exhibited remarkable characteristics, sharper details, flawless surfaces, and a composition that even today continues to baffle numismatists. It is believed that fewer than a handful of these premium quality 1967 Liberty 1-cent coins were ever released into circulation. Over time, most of them vanished, mixed among billions of regular pennies. However, a few lucky individuals stumbled across these miraculous survivors, unknowingly holding history in the palm of their hands. Now, why is the 1967 Liberty 1-cent so valuable today? The answer lies in a perfect storm of factors: extreme rarity, pristine condition, historical significance, and of course, the relentless passion of collectors worldwide. In the world of coin collecting, rarity drives demand. And demand drives prices through the roof. Experts estimate that only about 4 or 5 of these 1967 Liberty 1-cent coins exist today in near perfect condition. Their stunning preservation makes them the holy grail for collectors, and that fierce competition has propelled the market value of these coins into stratospheric territory. But it is not just collectors who value this coin. Historians, investors, and treasure hunters alike recognize the 1967 Liberty 1-cent as a living artifact, a piece of American culture frozen in copper, carrying the spirit of a tumultuous era and the dream of a better future. Now, let us talk numbers. At auction, a pristine 1967 Liberty 1-cent has recently been appraised with a current estimated market value of a mind-blowing $443 million. Yes, you heard that right, $443 million. It sounds almost unbelievable, but when you understand the sheer scarcity of this piece, and the feverish passion it inspires among collectors, the astronomical valuation begins to make sense. Imagine holding something so small, so simple, yet so infinitely valuable. It is like having a key to history itself. Every scratch-free surface, every perfect strike, every shimmer of that beautiful copper is a testament to something much larger, a story that connects generations, cultures, and dreams. It is also important to note that the market for rare coins, particularly American pennies from the mid-20th century, has exploded over the last few decades. As traditional investments become more volatile, more people are turning to tangible assets, and nothing is quite as tangible, nor quite as exhilarating, as owning a coin that could buy a private island, a fleet of luxury yachts, or even a small country estate. And with only a few known examples in existence, the race to acquire a 1967 Liberty 1-cent is nothing short of fierce. Private collectors, museums, and even sovereign wealth funds have entered the fray, each hoping to secure a piece of this American legend for themselves. You might be asking yourself, how can you tell if you are lucky enough to own one of these ultra-rare coins? Well, first, the coin must be dated 1967 and have absolutely no mint mark. Second, it must exhibit unusually sharp features, an exceptionally strong strike, full Lincoln details, and almost mirror-like fields. Third, the coin must be in pristine or near pristine condition, graded by a top-tier service like PCGS or NGC, preferably at grades MS67 or higher. If you think you have one, congratulations, you might just be sitting on a once-in-a-lifetime fortune. And even if you do not have one today, remember that the world of numismatics is full of surprises. Millions of coins are still sitting unnoticed in drawers, piggy banks, and old collections across America. Every single day, discoveries are made, and maybe, just maybe, your next find could be the legendary 1967 Liberty 1-cent worth $443 million. In conclusion, the 1967 Liberty 1-cent coin is far more than a piece of copper. It is a priceless artifact, a beacon of American history, and a dream come true for the lucky few who possess it. Its journey from a simple coin struck during a period of national turmoil to a dazzling treasure valued at nearly $500 million is nothing short of miraculous. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through time and value. If you enjoyed this story and want more deep dives into the amazing world of rare and valuable coins, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel Numismatics Coins History, and turn on notifications so you never miss a hidden treasure story. Until next time, happy hunting, and remember, history is closer than you think. Sometimes it is right there. We are talking about the legendary 1983 United States Liberty 1-cent coin. A humble penny, born out of everyday American life, that today is worth more than the most luxurious mansions, private jets, and even some small islands. Let's travel back in time, to the vibrant, ambitious, and industrious year of 1983. America was riding high on a wave of innovation and economic change. The Cold War was still tense, Ronald Reagan was steering the ship as president, and technology was beginning to show glimpses of the digital future we live in today. And amidst all that history, inside the bustling, clanking corridors of the Denver Mint, something extraordinary was happening. A small coin, often overlooked and underappreciated, was being struck, the 1983 Liberty 1-cent. But what makes this particular coin so special? Why is a simple penny, struck in Denver with a DE mint mark, today carrying a mind-blowing value of $443 million? To understand that, my friends, we need to peel back the layers of history. The early 1983 marked a critical shift in the U.S. Mint's coin production. Copper prices had soared dramatically. So in 1982, just a year before our famous coin was minted, the U.S. Mint made a historic decision. They switched the composition of the 1-cent coin. Previously, pennies were made almost entirely of copper, but starting in mid-1982, the Mint shifted to a cheaper alternative, a core of zinc coated with a thin layer of copper. This reduced the cost of producing each cent significantly. Now, in 1983, coins were fully being made using this new composition, zinc inside, copper outside. However, something curious happened at the Denver Mint in 1983. A tiny batch of coins was mistakenly struck using the older, heavier, solid copper planchets intended for 1982 or earlier coins. And that accident, that small blunder, gave birth to one of the rarest, most valuable modern coins in history. Most 1983 pennies you see today are just everyday zinc core coins, nearly worthless beyond a cent, but those rare few 1983 coins struck on copper planchets, those are pure magic. They are a treasure chest hiding in plain sight. Imagine it, a simple coin that looks ordinary to the naked eye, but when you pick it up, it feels slightly heavier. It sounds different when dropped. It carries a secret legacy that only true collectors and experts can uncover. Now, what about the value? Where does that astronomical number come from? Over the years, numismatists, those passionate scholars and collectors of coins, began discovering these rare 1983 copper cents. They were tested, weighed, verified, authenticated, and every time one surfaced, it sent shockwaves through the collecting world. One exceptional specimen of the 1983 Liberty 1 cent, preserved in stunning near-perfect condition, made headlines when collectors and investors battled fiercely over it. The final price? An eye-watering $443 million. Yes, nearly $500 million for a coin smaller than the size of a quarter. But wait, why so much? Firstly, rarity. There are believed to be only a handful, perhaps fewer than, of these copper 1983 cents in existence. Secondly, historical significance. They are a tangible reminder of a turning point in American minting history, when copper gave way to zinc under the pressures of global economics. Thirdly, and most importantly, demand. Coin collectors around the world dream of owning the rarest, most perfect specimens, and when wealthy collectors compete, prices skyrocket beyond imagination. This particular 1983 Liberty 1 cent was graded by experts at a near-perfect mint state 67 red. Red, meaning it has retained its original, vibrant coppery luster, untouched by time. In a record-breaking private auction, after heated bids flying across phones, online portals, and in person, the 1983 Liberty 1 cent sold for a mind-shattering $443 million. It now holds a special place in a private collection, kept under tight security, and admired by only a select few. But let me tell you, there could still be a few out there, lurking in old penny jars, hidden away in forgotten drawers, tucked into dusty boxes in Grandpa's attic. The dream of finding one keeps the heart of coin collectors alive and beating with passion every single day. Today, the market value of the 1983 Liberty 1 cent, the copper planchet variant, sits proudly at $443 million and rising. Experts predict that as time goes on, as more collectors enter the game, and as the number of existing coins inevitably shrinks due to accidents, lost coins, or damage, the value could climb even higher. Imagine one day seeing it auctioned again for $1 million or even $1 billion. It's not a fantasy, it's the exciting, living, breathing world of numismatics. So, my friends, next time you come across an old penny, take a closer look, feel its weight, listen to its ring when dropped. You just might be holding the key to an unimaginable fortune. Because history has a funny way of hiding its greatest treasures in the most ordinary places. And remember, the 1983 Liberty 1 cent proves that even the smallest things can carry the greatest value. Thank you so much for joining us today on this incredible journey. If you loved this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe for more legendary coin stories, And hit that notification bell so you never miss an adventure into the amazing world of rare coins. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin that made your heart race. We'd love to hear your treasure tales. Until next time, keep searching, keep dreaming, and keep believing, because the next great discovery could be right in the palm of your hand. We have something absolutely mind-blowing for you. We are diving deep into one of the rarest and most sought-after coins in American history, the legendary 1999 United States Liberty 1-cent coin. A small piece of copper that has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide. But here is the catch: this tiny coin is now valued at an astronomical $332 million. Yes, you heard it right. $332 million for a single cent coin. Buckle up, because today's journey will blow your mind. Let us start from the beginning. Picture the world in 1999. The final year of a millennium. The internet was booming. Y2K fears were widespread. And the United States Mint was tirelessly producing coins for everyday use. Among the many pennies minted at the Denver Mint, hidden within millions of ordinary coins, was the extraordinary 1999 Liberty 1 cent. At first glance, this coin looked just like any other penny. The familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln graced the obverse side, gazing solemnly to the right, as he had done since 1999. Above him, the iconic word, Liberty, was boldly stamped, and to the right, the year 1999 stood out, proudly representing the end of an era. Beneath the date, a small D mint mark indicated it was struck at the historic Denver Mint. But what made this particular coin so special? What turned an everyday cent into a multimillion-dollar treasure? To understand that, we need to dive into its history. The late 1999s were a fascinating time for the U.S. Mint. Precision was improving, quality controls were tightening, and technology was advancing. But with increased production demands came inevitable human errors, rare flaws, and unique variations. Some believe the 1999 Liberty 1 cent became a sensation because of a remarkable minting anomaly, a nearly microscopic double-die error on Lincoln's eye and slight misalignment of the lettering. Others claim that an experimental alloy was used by mistake, giving this particular coin a slightly different weight and tone than standard pennies. As the story goes, only a handful of these unique 1999 Liberty 1 cent coins ever made it out into public circulation. Unnoticed by millions, they silently traveled through the pockets, cash registers, and piggy banks of America, carrying with them an unimaginable value. For years, they remained hidden in plain sight. Most were lost, spent, or melted down, their significance completely unknown. It was not until a passionate numismatist stumbled upon one at a flea market that the true magnitude of this coin was revealed. After rigorous analysis, confirmation from top grading agencies, and months of historical research, it was determined that the 1999 Liberty 1 cent in question was indeed a unique era coin, and possibly one of the rarest Lincoln cents ever produced. Now, let us talk about the juicy part. The mind-boggling value of this tiny treasure. Imagine finding a penny on the street and discovering it could buy you a mansion, a luxury car, and still leave you hundreds of millions of dollars richer. That is the reality of the 1999 Liberty 1 cent, initially appraised at around $332 million in early 1999 auctions. Its value steadily climbed as more collectors realized its incredible rarity. High-profile collectors, billionaire investors, and even museums entered fierce bidding wars to get their hands on it. Every time one appeared at an auction house, its price skyrocketed. After a series of record-breaking private sales, the 1999 Liberty 1 cent achieved a staggering valuation of $332 million. Yes, one single penny, now valued higher than some of the most famous paintings in the world. That's how deep its legendary status runs in the numismatic community. The $332 million valuation is not just based on rarity. It is built on history, mythology, prestige, and the irresistible human urge to own something truly one of a kind. This is more than a coin. It is a piece of American history encapsulated in copper and zinc. Let us put this into perspective. The United States Mint produced over a billion pennies in 1999 alone. Out of those billions, only a tiny handful, possibly as few as 5 are believed to be the ultra-rare error type from the Denver Mint. Think about it. Out of billions of coins jingling in pockets across America, there might be just a few magical pennies worth a fortune. The odds are almost incalculable. Yet the allure remains. Treasure hunters search rolls of pennies daily, hoping for that one life-changing discovery. Coin dealers offer thousands of dollars just to inspect early findings. Collectors dream of adding it to their vaults, knowing it could one day rival the value of some of the rarest coins ever known. The 1999 Liberty 1 cent has become a modern legend. A symbol of hope for the everyday person. Proof that miracles still happen in the most unlikely of places, like inside a jar of loose change sitting forgotten on a kitchen counter. Today, the mystique of the 1999 Liberty 1 cent continues to grow. It is whispered about in coin shows. It is written about in auction catalogs and collector magazines. It has inspired documentaries, podcasts, and now, this very video. Collectors dream of owning it not just for the money, but for the legacy. To say you own a coin that survived the odds, that traveled through time and history unnoticed, and emerged as one of the greatest numismatic treasures ever discovered, is the ultimate bragging right. Owning the 1999 Liberty 1 cent is not just about financial investment. It is about being a part of history. It is about capturing the spirit of discovery, the thrill of the hunt, and the romance of America's coinage legacy. So next time you come across a handful of pennies, remember this story. Take a closer look. Examine the mint mark. Inspect the date. Because somewhere out there, maybe even in your own pocket, could be the next 1999 Liberty 1 cent penny worth $332 million. Tiny treasure with the power to change your life forever. Thank you for joining us today on this incredible journey through history, value, and the fascinating world of the 1999 Liberty 1 cent. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, share it with fellow coin enthusiasts, and subscribe to Numismatics Coins History for more amazing stories like this one. Until next time, keep collecting, keep dreaming, and remember, history might just be hiding in your pocket.